Pisces, hey, thanks for dropping in with me. We are here to tap into your collective frequency and see what message wants to come through for you to guide you on the path forward. I already got a download that came in for you, and it was actually one of the 5 celestial beasts of Taoism that came through. It speaks of the different cycles and changes and transformations we go through as we are bringing something into being, as we enter into a flow of creativity. And you got Zhan Wu, which translates to Black Warrior, and it also means turtle. Wu means turtle as well as black. So Wu can kind of translate as the black tortoise. Just to give some imagery around that. What's interesting, though, is when you take the compound term, Zhan Wu, which means Black Warrior, it translates to snake. And the depiction is basically, traditionally, a turtle fighting with a snake. And I feel like there's something here that is speaking very much of your collective, the challenge you're facing at this time, and what process you're going through in the cycle of transformation. You're dealing with some challenges, you're dealing with some difficulties. It has something to do with a rough truth, but it's also a truth that you feel like you have to stand on, because standing on this truth is so necessary in order for you to claim what you feel is your destiny, or to make it worth it, this certain difficult cycle you're moving through, which feels like a bit of a rough hand of fate that's almost required in order to bring something into alignment. And with that, I just had a card fall on the ground. I'm working with the Tarot Dragons for you. Dragons are quite serpentine, I have to say. Yes, strength. You're having to exercise great strength to overcome this particular challenge, and might have its roots in the past, some fear you're having to overcome from the past, a time from the past when maybe you felt particularly weak when facing off with what you viewed was a very challenging situation, or maybe a very difficult person. Something that you didn't quite have the strength to rise up for in the past that you do now, or that you're invoking now. I feel like you're invoking that through working with this imagery of the black tortoise, the black warrior of the north. North is associated, of course, with the north node. North node, that makes me also think of the cardinal cross, and makes me think of Capricorn. And I bring in the cardinal cross specifically because we do have the cardinal cross in action with those nodes of destiny. And because of the retrograde energy right now, we have Libra in the south node, Aries in the north node. So you could be dealing with a matter that concerns an Aries. There could be something that's also front and center in Aries season. There's something you have to overcome here. It's very challenging. You have to stand in a truth, and you feel that standing in this truth also means you have to go through a particularly difficult passage. In order to go through this particularly difficult passage, you have to invoke a certain courage that maybe you didn't have in the past, but you do now. I do feel like there's protection in this. There's help. Okay. What you're carrying forward, why you have this strength, is because you're staying very rooted as well. You know, you're really tapping into that earth elemental. You're standing on this particular, hill. My God, there's something you're not willing to concede here. You may feel that it's difficult to go through this transformation with that snake medicine coming in from the south. I call it snake medicine because I'm thinking about the medicine wheel now. There's all this kind of like transferring of systems of thought here, connecting points. And there's something about this that will make sense to you. But there's this piece of this, for the celestial beast, it's associated with the vermilion bird, which we brought in, which is about raising the consciousness, okay? So I do feel like there's a need to raise the consciousness out of the place where it was sort of fixated in the past to get a different perspective, a more cosmic perspective of a situation or a particular battle that you find yourself in, or facing off with somebody that you may view as like a challenger on your path, an opponent on your path, a nemesis on your path. And there's something here that you're not willing to concede. You're not willing to give up certain ground that you've had to go through a lot of trials to get through. That's what I got, okay? You feel that this is your destiny and you've hard earned it and you're going to rest on it, okay? But the snake also has to deal with that south direction because the snake is on the medicine wheel, and the snake unlocks the doorway to travel up to the north node, all right? A certain transformation that needs to happen through a fire test of truth that leads to activation of the north quadrant of the medicine wheel, which is where we get to the joy, the sweetness. It's the same trip when we look in terms of really activating that north quality, which is associated with water on this particular system of thought. It's when we nurture that earth with water. The top side of the tortoise is considered like a celestial vault. So it holds the destiny, it holds the riches, it holds the reward at the end of a cycle of transforming fate into that destiny. The underside of the turtle represents the earth. So you see, it's like then you receive the blessings. You receive the blessings when you go through this transformation, maybe transforming a certain behavior, a certain way of seeing things, a certain deception, okay? It could be a self-deception. It could be a scales falling away from the eyes to see things in a new way. But I feel like you're very much locked into this, and interesting strength right after that chariot, you know? There's something you're balancing out here. You want to find the way through to overcome a past challenge, so you can, you know, come into alignment. Look, it's like big road opener energy here. We have the Two of Wands. You want to envision a new world into being. And you see, you know, somebody waiting there for you at the arrival point. They're kind of just on the periphery right now. But currently you're dealing with the burden of trying to find the way through to birth this new beginning with the 10 of Wands here, right? This is where you're at. You're at burnout, okay? Looking to claim the spot of the Empress, I see, all right? And arrive at that place of basking in the light of the sun. But right now, you're in this place of conjuring it into being. Your energy, Queen of Cups. Right now, it's just a vision. It's just a vision. And you're currently dealing with a certain fire you need to put out, okay? There's been some challenge here that you've been moving through. I feel like it's a fire test of truth here. You could be dealing with a Libra. You could be dealing with a Taurus. You could have strong Taurus in your chart. You could be dealing with another water sign energy. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You could be dealing with a Leo. Leo pretty strongly here. Cancerian energy as well. Cancer, Leo cusp potentially. There could have been something significant that went down in that season. Okay, let's see what wants to come in here, because right now this is something you're like shoring up. You're preparing to, you know, defend a certain hill. I feel like it's the hill of Tara. It's the destiny point, the stone of destiny. Although I have to say the stone of destiny is not on that mound of Tara. More of that to come in the future. So there might be a certain deception here. There might be something that needs to be viewed at in a new way. Your destiny may actually be this process of the path you're on right now, that is your destiny. There's something that you're honing here. There's certain lessons you're learning. Where you actually end up may not be the same hill you're so apt to, you know, defend at this time. Interesting. Okay, let's get some more details about this. What is this vision that's being birthed? I feel like you're in the process of clearing the road right now. You got a little bit of this like blockbuster energy at play right now, where you're needing to move some obstacles out of the way. There may be somebody who's throwing obstacles in your way too. This could have something to do with a Page of Wands, all right? It's got big like, oh gosh, what is that? Is it the Sorcerer's Apprentice? Okay, it's got these kind of vibes. You could be dealing with a Sagittarius with the Page of Wands here, quintessential Sagittarius card. Also speaks of that Sagittarian energy, wanting to take up a certain kind of study, wanting to learn something, wanting to go on a path of discovery that leads you to expansion into your life, leads you to a place of freedom where you can travel as well, okay? And fuels a certain light of optimism within you, gives you a certain sense of enthusiasm. I can see this as both travel in the world, but also travel in the mind, like more expansive thought, reaching up that place of cosmic consciousness. I have to bring it in just because you had one of the celestial beasts come in, and we've already brought in earlier during Panchakarma week, we've brought in this celestial vermilion bird. So I feel like right now, though, whereas the celestial vermilion bird deals with more of celestial matters, you're dealing with more of an earthly matter. You're wanting to see a certain advancement that you can achieve in your material reality. You're wanting to activate your destiny. You're wanting to take a raw hand of fate and these challenges you're moving through, and you want to bust through these barriers, and you want to stake your claim in your life. I feel this very strongly, but there's something here that needs to be transformed on a more cosmic consciousness level before that can happen. And this is why there is like a little bit of these obstacles showing off on the path. Maybe some people are showing off a bit. Oh, okay. It could be that there's too much ego involved in this situation. And that's actually the block. It's only when the natures are balanced, shadow and light, that there's a moving forward into that position of mastery of the emperor, the empress, that north node activation. Interesting. Okay, more details here. I'm going to do one more round of this, and then I'm going to pull out another deck for you. More details about this for Pisces, please. What does Pisces need to know about the way forward? How can they facilitate this, or what clues are you wanting to give them about the best way to move forward in an empowered way, and to overcome also these difficulties that you're facing, these challenges, these blockages? There is happiness that comes through the other side of this, and there's also protection of what is your rightful destiny. I feel that very strongly. But there's some kind of resistance you're encountering, perhaps because it's based on a deception. Maybe you see another as an enemy, but actually the deception is coming from within. Okay, there's something you're needing to transform in this situation to truly activate the transformation point of your fate into your destiny. I'm going to just do a kind of deck because nothing more is wanting to come through here. 9 of Pentacles. Yes, there's something that you are really stepping into for yourself. This is pre-Empress energy. So I feel like you're going through like this initiatory process right now, but there's one piece missing here. And it's this particular face-off. You view it as a challenger to your destiny, Knight of Swords. And it's something that's coming at you quick. And it may be bringing some level of a storm into your life. And there's a confirmation on that, a big yes with the Hierophant following after that. This is something that's been needing to play out for quite a while, actually. I say that because we have death coming up on the scene right behind that. And behind that, we have the 6 of Cups. Okay, so this is an old score. We have the Sire of Swords. So let me explain how this is all piecing together. Currently, you are in this place of pre-Empress, pre-Emperor energy. In other words, you have one more thing that you have to sort of like face off with in order to truly activate your destiny and open your road, you know, to have that blockbuster energy come through that gives you the way through to actually activate your true North Star, your North Node, what you're here to do, your purpose at this stage in the game. I do see that you, wherever you're at right now, whatever you're currently developing for yourself, independent for yourself, it has a lot of longevity. There's a lot about you kind of building almost a legacy kind of energy. I feel like you're building up the finances, your resources, your own security, stability. I also feel like you're building up your own sense of strength within yourself. There is something that you're really gaining through your solitary time and through your time of self-reflection. There's something that you're refining here. I also see that your health is really improving on a lot of levels, and you're feeling very nurtured in your environment, and especially by nature. You may be spending a lot of time in nature, and this is also really strengthening you. I feel like, especially with connecting with earth element very strongly, like so your water can nurture the earth. You might be more kind of prone to go to your default and go to that, water energy to find harmony. But there's something about connecting more with earth element. So maybe getting up into the mountains, going hiking, maybe also gardening, getting your hands into the earth, really connecting viscerally with the earth. Tree medicine too, getting really rooted, grounded, okay? This also will help you for this final challenge that you have, which is some kind of communication, a truth that's going to be spoken. It does bring a little bit of an uprooting and a little bit of a chaos energy in. Could be coming from a Knight of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, right? And this is something that was meant to happen here. It's a certain elevation of consciousness that needs to come through. This could also be this communication coming in from your higher consciousness quite spontaneously, like your Atman activation, and it immediately like gives you an aha moment. You have a transformation in your view of a situation which aligns you with quite a different truth. Okay, I can see this. It could be coming from somebody outside of you. It could be something that's provoked by something somebody says, and it gives you a different view of a situation. I got that. But there is some transformation coming through here through communication. I do feel it's either through something somebody says that you overhear, that you tap into, or it's through somebody directly communicating something to you. It's their truth, and it suddenly creates a little bit of upheaval in a situation only because it makes you realize that maybe you had a different view of a situation. Your challenge is to come into the center of what gets stirred up there so you can keep your focus and not get kind of carried away by this storm. It's something that clears the air. That's what I got. I think of that tornado energy, and it clears the air, right? Everything shifts after a tornado. So there's something that really changes in the lay of land moving forward, and there is an ending here. There is like a singing over the bones. There is a laying something to rest here, okay? And this is what activates the transformation. You could be dealing with a Scorpio as well, right? This could be something that's held over from when Scorpio was in the South Node, which first came into play in the middle of 2021 and lasted until the summer of 2023 when it shifted into Libra. Okay. Yes, this is something that goes way back here, way back. It's an old story. All right. With the Six of Cups here. This has something to do with the past. And we see this reminds me of a homa fire, actually. It reminds me of making offerings, maybe through doing some kind of cleansing ritual that uses fire. That's usually what a homa is for, offering up herbs to the fire, to ask for transformation, to invoke that power of the fire. Remember, the transformation is what's still needed. You might need to transform something by fire. This will allow you to sort of allow the illusions to fall away, to elevate the consciousness, to shed an old identity, to shed an old skin and to experience the activation of the life force that'll rise you up into that sweetness, that joy. Some of you may be experiencing Kundalini activation. You may be having this shedding of the identity through this rising of consciousness, okay? But it's through going through some fire test of truth. And I feel it comes in through communication. It's something somebody says or they communicate to you, and it's an awakening moment. At first, it feels chaotic. At first, it feels disruptive. At first, it carries you away. But through the process of the disruption, it's sort of like a bit of the poison arrives you at the cure, because that is the nature of snake medicine. It's through the disruption that you learn how to come into this place of such calm centeredness and non-attachment. It's when you find the Tao, the way through. Okay. I do see you may be making some kind of offerings. There's some kind of cleansing also of the heart space that's happening here, a transmutation of energy. And I see this is mastery over the South Node here with the Sire of Swords. Okay, so there's another person, 2133 on the clock, 333, 9. Hermit's journey. Okay, so if you're a Virgo rising, this may be speaking very strongly to you. Or if you have strong Virgo placements in your chart, this is also the road that can only be walked alone. You know, nobody can go there with you. Look at that, the sword and the stone vibes coming through here. That is that North Node of destiny. Only the sovereign can pull the sword from the stone, right? So there has to be this elevation, transmutation of lower vibrational energies, old stories, stories of us versus them, the enemy, you know, the opponent. You know, there's something here that you're coming into the center of a particular conflict, a particular tower, a particular disruption. And I think what you're doing is you're coming into that place of complete non-attachment. And that's what gains you like the jewels of heaven or the 4 jewels of the Tuatha De Danann, the activation of that destiny, the North Node. It gives you safe passage all the way through. It's coming to that place of non-attachment and in not grasping, not trying to reach for, but just being in this place of openness through this radical shift in your consciousness that gives you a completely different view of the situation. That's when the road truly opens up to you. And that's where your transformation is ignited. Really beautiful energy. Butterfly clan has been coming through very strongly for everyone. We're not everyone, but for quite a few, I have to say. It did come up in the Aquarian read too. So there could be an Aquarius that's factoring into this transformational journey for you. There could be something significant there. But this is powerful, okay? There's something you're freeing yourself from in the past, and it's bringing you into alignment with your truth. It's opening your road, and it's activating your purpose. And there's some really deeply transformational process underway here. It's beautiful. I do feel like you're just about to get to the other side of a particularly challenging cycle of growth that you've been moving through, where maybe there was a lot to surrender. There was a lot to balance out also karmically, but you're now free of that, okay? You're just about to break through the other side of it. And I think you feel this. You feel it coming in. You feel the road starting to shift. You feel your road is shifting. Maybe where it was set at one point is kind of aligned a little bit differently now. But you'll find that it's perfect alignment, and it does lead you to your destiny. So I feel like bringing in some kind of oracle card for you. What do I want to bring in for you that can give you a little bit more details about what's rising up out of that South Node for you? Maybe I will bring in the Halloween oracle. Let's do that. Maybe fall was a very significant time for you. I mean, it makes me think of Scorpio, obviously, Scorpio season, when I think of Halloween or Samhain. Okay, so let's just see what's rising up out of The closing of the work at the South Node for Pisces. What is it activating for them? What is the destiny that's coming in for them? Also, we are in that place where we're kind of in the long, dark tunnel right now. It's like we sense the building of the light. We are sensing the way through, but we are in between the eclipses right now, so lots hidden. But there is some kind of surprising moment that will come in and kind of provide the trajectory shift of your path with 420, I believe. So we do have that Uranus-Jupiter conjunction going down there, and you're going to feel that. You're going to feel that shift for sure. I have to tell you, because, you know, Jupiter is one of your rulers. We know Jupiter makes everything bigger, okay? So what's changing in your life now is really powerful. It's something that is bringing you into alignment with your purpose, but it comes through a complete change in consciousness. This is one of those moments where, you know, you are like the headless goddess laughing, all right? That's what's coming through. The headless goddess laughing. It's when you have an awakening moment. It comes through almost like absurdity. I brought this in a little bit when I was talking about the Jupiter-Uranus download that I did recently. Absurdity. It's a moment of laughter. It's a moment of revelation that's humorous to you, okay? And it's in that the death is experienced of the old limitation that was holding you back, and you come into the fullness of your sovereignty. You know, it's when you activate your destiny. So there's some transformation happening here. It's really beautiful, but it comes through laughter. It comes through joy. All right. Bottom of the deck. Yes, skull of darkness. You can't see it right now. It's your blind spot. No matter how many candles you light, they won't show you the way through. All right. There's some things that arrive at in their own time. You can't manifest certain things. Certain things rely on divine timing. I feel this is a bit of like the fates taking the wheel. You'll be glad that they did, because there's something that you don't see yet, but you will. It will become clear for you once you face the fire test of truth. Okay, so you're going through a transformation by fire, trial by fire is how it's coming through. This could be coming through for you as what you view as an opponent or a face-off of some sort. But I think you'll have quite a different view once you get through it. What do we got here? Synergy and healing. The cauldron of Dagda. Do you see? It's been spilled out. There needs to be a transformation of you to cleanse the cauldron of Dagda. This is when we get the activation of the action being in alignment with the heart. So there's something here you don't see yet. It's a blind spot. There's something that you think is your due north. And you view there being some kind of opponent or obstacle that's preventing you from getting there. But the opponent you're actually facing off with is yourself, much like Bruce Lee did in the role he played in Enter the Dragon, right? Enter the Dragon. Yes, that serpentine energy, you know? Serpents with wings, basically, when we think of dragon energy. So there's something here that you need to earn your wings here. You have to go through the transformation before you can like fly on up to that hummingbird sweetness of La Chuparosa, the rose sucker at the North Node. There's a certain kind of thorns you need to embrace and the wisdom that they bring when we shed old skins, when we have that release, when we go through that fire of transformation. Until then, there can't be the activation of this destiny, the new beginning, because the heart is not on board, right? There's something here that's being transformed. You're going through this process right now. There's an imbalance in power here. You notice that that star is in reverse, okay? So it needs to turn right side up and come into a place of balance. All the elements need to be in their proper balance. And I'm getting right now, your water needs to be in balance so it can nourish the earth. Ooh. And just as I said that, the light dimmed on this side. So I feel that's true. Your water needs to be nourished right now. The vulnerability, the sensitivity, the love space, the compassion, the unity consciousness which might be particularly challenging with what's going on right now. But I do feel like it is the way through for you, okay? Yes, owl, wise seeing, wise action. All right, you could be dealing with a Sagittarius in regard to this situation. Right? Again, it's that desire to move into expansion. Sagittarius also factoring into this lunar cycle really, really strongly because they are part of that activation of the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction going down on 420, which is wrapping up a cycle that was kicked off with an Aries solar eclipse that occurred last year on 420. It's a linking time, right? So something's really coming back around the bend, and hindsight is 2020 vision. And this is what you need to remember when you're trying to find your way through the dark. Okay. And again, in native tradition, deceiver medicine as well. So there might be something here that you need to really look at. There might be a truth that you need to see. And this might have something to do with releasing a certain burden that's been on the heart, or a certain blockage in the heart center, or something that needs to be freed up here in this heart space. So there can be maybe compassion or flow, okay, to find the way through. I'm going to do a cut of the deck here to close this out, Pisces. Death, the eternal cycle, begins here. So there's absolutely something that is being closed here. It may have been something that for you was like a moth to a flame. I feel it was a desired destination, but it was born out of a different part of yourself. Perhaps born out of part of yourself that just wanted to rise above a certain limitation, perceived limitation from your past. But you've outgrown this. There's a skin that's meant to be shed now, and you're meant to move beyond this. And your destination is different. It's not a destination that's going to consume you like Icarus, who wanted to fly to the sun and then burned his wings, okay? It's a little something different here that currently is unknown to you, okay? This is something that is secret. It's something hidden. It's something that is transformed. Remember that offering. Look at the smoke and the eyes peering through the past. And it does remind me of that like Leo energy. Also, cat medicine has a lot to do with secrecy. So there's something that you're transmuting from the past, and maybe you're representing it now. Maybe you're ready to step into it. Maybe you're ready to let it be seen. You're not going to hide it anymore, okay? But something that's seen as bad luck or disruption or something thwarting your way, you're going to see was actually a stroke of luck, okay? It was a turn of fortune for you, because this is the case where what seems like a loss is actually a big win for you, because fortune is meeting with opportunity, and you are going to gain a key that opens up the door to an opportunity you never knew you needed.